training is one of the best forms of exercises that you can do to add to any of your current workout programs. It not only improves your strength, but also improves cardiovascular fitness as well as flexibility. I'd like to share with you some of my favorite kettlebell movements that you can do to add to your workout program. When you're choosing a kettlebell for your correct fitness level, make sure that you're not just choosing a light weight, because some of the exercises that you'll do require a heavier weight so that you use the momentum of the bell to push through the exercise. So you'll be able to feel it better and you'll get more results out of the exercise itself. So a little anatomy of the bell. Here's our kettlebell. This is the ball of the bell. This is what swings through the motion and actually propels the force and the power coming from your hips. This is the horn of the bell, or the handle. This is where you place your hands. So we have different hand positions. This is a double hand grip, and then you notice I'm placing my hands on the side of the horns so that it's easy for me to grab when I'm changing positions on single hand movements. Now if I'm doing a single hand movement in the front and I have nowhere to place my hand, you might drop the bell, and we don't want that. You also can turn the bell upside down, so you have the ball of the bell facing up and you're holding the horns by the sides to do certain chopping movements and other movements that are easier to hold from this direction. So that's a little anatomy of the bell. Let's get into the first exercise. Prior to beginning your kettlebell workout, be sure to warm up with some dynamic movements to warm up your spine. I'm going to start with a swing. Now we'll have a double hand grip, so my hands are placed onto the sides of the horns. As I do this, I have my feet parallel, wide at a distance apart, and I'm starting to swing the bell forward and back, not squatting. I'm just hinging from my hips, keeping my back straight. My core is engaged at all times, and I'm propelling with my hips to get the power to drive the bell up. Now I'm stopping the bell about chest level, but I'm slightly leaning back. You can take the bell well overhead, but for right now, we're just going to keep that bell swinging to chest level. So you're rocking through the hips, keeping the legs straight, core is engaged, and spine is straight. To take this into a single hand swing, I'm going to let go with one hand and swing both arms in the same direction. Now you notice I'm keeping the bell close to my same leg, same arm. That way, you keep it from hitting the other knee. And as I come into switch hands, after my desired reps, you're going to change hands at the top of the motion and do the same thing on the other side. Now notice my torso is slightly rotating away from the bell to give that torso or core power, and then I drive through my hips as the bell comes up. And again, if I want, I can come back to a double hand grip. Both hands come on, and you notice my hands are on the sides of the horns so that I can grab it easily. To take this one step further, I can add a forward and back motion just to add a little bit of variety. This really drives up your cardiovascular fitness. Next, we'll move into a figure eight. So I'm going to let go with one hand and make a figure eight around my legs. As I'm doing this, again, I'm keeping my back straight, my core engaged, and when I stand up, I'm driving with my hips to get the power to stand and squeeze the back side of my body. You can really see that this is really challenging because you're keeping the bell in motion at all times. Now if I want to really mix it up, I can stop the bell at the top and then reverse the motion, coming back through to work on my coordination as well as power. You want to make sure that you are, again, grabbing the bell on the side of the horn so that you catch it each time. Next, I'll come into a high pull. I'll go right back into that swinging motion, and I bend my elbows, bringing them in towards my chest. The ball of the bell is pushing out and away once it comes to the chest. As I do this, again, I'm hinging from my hips, driving the power through my legs, my hamstrings, as well as through my core. To take this one step further, you can do this with a single arm. Now I like to swing both arms to keep the momentum as well as the power coming from the arms, and the coordination goes at the same pace. From here, be sure to do both sides. Then we're going to come into an upside down hand grip. So I'm turning the bell upside down, grabbing by the sides of the horn for a lunge and a chop. So take one leg back from a side view. I'm going to take the bell to the opposite side of the leg that's in front. As I lunge, I'm chopping in towards the knee. Be sure that you're spotting something so that you keep your balance. This is great because it works your legs as well as your core, and it really challenges your balance. You can take this one step further and take it into a reverse dynamic lunge or a curtsy lunge or a lateral lunge. If I have to change sides, lunge over towards the knee. This is very important because you want to make sure that you're keeping the body rotating in opposition. So you can really challenge your body by mixing it up. Now this is a heavier bell, and I like to use a heavier bell on the swings because it drives up your cardiovascular fitness as well as works through the momentum of the bell. I'm going to lighten it for the windmill. Now we didn't really talk about rack position, but racking is an art form in itself. When you rack the bell, you want to bring it up the line of the body, rotate it in your hands as you're swiveling around, and you have your hand over your heart. The elbow is close to the body, not out to the side to protect the shoulder. As we do the windmill, you'll have one foot facing forward and one angle to the side. Shift the hips back, and as you go down, the arm goes up. And then you'll come right back down to standing and rotate towards the front leg. It's a simultaneous movement, so you're coming underneath of the bell. As it goes up, your body comes down. Again, keep your core engaged at all times. Now what's great about the windmill is that it challenges your flexibility in your hamstrings. It works on your core. It also works on your arms and shoulder strength. It's just such a nice movement. You can add a little bit of variety by staying down and add an arm press. Now I like this using a lighter weight because I can do my shoulder presses from here. Now if you have any type of shoulder injury, of course you're going to be very careful of this movement. If you want more core power, extend the other arm. And then when you're ready to come up, rack the bell, keep it close to the heart, and come to a stand. Be sure to do that exercise on both sides. So we're going to finish up with 2 movements on the floor for your core. So come down to a seated position, knees are bent. You're going to keep that upside down hand grip. You're going to start to rotate from side to side. The knees go opposite the bell. And as I do this, you can start to lean back until you start to feel the core really working. Now to take this a step further, to actually utilize the bell, turn your hands so that you're holding it like a purse. You're going to whip the bell from side to side. Again, the knees go opposite the arms. And you can just swivel that bell in the arms using the power of the bell. You can take the legs off of the floor to really challenge that core power. And then the last movement, you're going to come all the way down to a supine position. Extend out through the arms. Again, with an upside down hand grip. You're going to roll and reach so the bell stays close to the body. Roll up and touch the toe, and then articulate the spine back down. Again, you'll roll up, reach towards your shoes, and then roll back down. This is such a great movement because it really works your flexibility, your core strength, as well as upper arm power. A lot of men, you might want to use a heavier bell for this, but as you're doing it, make sure that you're really articulating and working through your core and your spine. And then once you're done with all of those, you want to make sure that you finish off with a few key stretches. So come onto your hands and knees. You'll round your spine into a cat stretch, and then arch your spine to release into cow. Do that a few times forward and back. Then you'll spread your knees, place one hand down, extend out through the arm, and shift the hips to the side. From right here, you can rotate into that kneeling windmill, and then you can circle the shoulder just to release some of the work that you just did. Be sure to do this on the other side. You're rotating over, reach the arm, circle the arm, and then come back down. You'll step forward into a nice kneeling lunge position. Extend the opposite arm. You'll lean back to feel the hip flexor open, as well as your quad, and a little bit through your hamstrings as you lean back. pull your toes back. So important to end your workouts with a nice stretch so that it helps to release the muscles, recover them, and get you ready for your next workout. And then you'll stand forward, carefully bend the knees, roll yourself up, head coming up last. Take a deep breath, stretch overhead. And that is some of my favorite kettlebell movements that you can do to any workout to really increase your strength, your core strength, your flexibility, as well as your cardiovascular fitness. So challenge your body in your next workout with some kettlebells.